Good morning, friends. Today we are going to study a very important topic, that is good governance. Before to start the lecture, first of all, understand the significance of this chapter. Okay, in your syllabus, there is a topic that is public administration plus good governance, and from this area, the four questions will be asked. So it is a potential area. You should prepare well, but the basic question start here, that how to prepare well, because there is a paucity of the resources. Okay, when we say or talk about the public administration, that is an optional. It takes around the 4 months normally through classroom to prepare it, to understand the every aspect and every dimension, because it will also helps you in the mains part. Okay, but here there are constraints with respect to the resources as well as with respect to time. So now the basic question, how we should prepare our the syllabus. You can trust on the videos, because this video is prepared while incorporating 2-3 resources. Okay, apart from this, if you get the time, then you can read one of the report of the second ARC, that is Administrative Reform Commission report, that is the 12th report. Okay, so now let's begin the today's class. From the exam point of view, good governance is studied under the 3 heading, that is idea, concept, and the aspect or the things with respect to the second ARC. What the second ARC said with respect to the good governance. Okay, because the second ARC, it talks about the citizen-centric administration. Citizen-centric administration. It's the 12th report. Okay, it talks about the citizen-centric administration. It says that there are certain features that makes the good governance and that makes the citizen at the center of the governance. Okay, इसको पढ़ना चाहिए. If you have the time, then you should read this report. It will better help to understand this chapter. So what is this good governance is? There is a long history to understand it, to crystallize it, to conceptualize it. Okay, so if you only talk about the idea of good governance, because good governance का मतलब क्या होता है, हिंदी में इसको बोलते हैं सुशासन. Okay, sometimes it is called राम राज्य. एक ऐसा स्टेटस, एक ऐसा कंडीशन जहां पर सभी सुखी हैं, ऑल आर इक्वल, ऑल आर एम्पावर्ड. ठीक है, एवरीवन, एवरीथिंग इज फॉलोड अंडर द रूल ऑफ लॉ, एवरीथिंग इज आइडियल. सो दैट कंडीशन इज नोन एज गुड गवर्नेंस. दैट कंडीशन इज नोन एज सुशासन. सो ये कॉन्सेप्ट गुडनेस से रिलेटेड है, बिकॉज देयर इज ए सेइंग इन ancient Greeks. There is a saying in ancient Greeks. In the Greeks, it is said that state means good. Okay, so state का मतलब ही good है, अच्छा है. Why? And state, what is state? Already we have seen. Earlier classes we have already discussed the concept of state, that there are the 5 elements: territory, people, government, sovereign government, and international recognitions. Clear? So state means the good, but how the state do for good? There are different views with respect to this. Okay, so let us take certain examples. So we are talking about the ideas. हम लोग idea की बात कर रहे हैं. सुशासन का आइडिया तो हमेशा से रहा है. ओके, इट्स हैव बीन लॉन्ग टाइम. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द कौटिल्य अर्थशास्त्र, देन यू विल गेट सर्टेन एग्जांपल्स विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू हाउ द किंग शुड बी, हाउ द आइडियल किंग शुड बी फॉर ए बेटर और गुड गवर्नड स्टेट. सो कौटिल्यास के टाइम में ये कॉन्सेप्ट था. इवन टू द वेस्टर्न कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द प्लेटो से अ स्टेट which is run by a philosopher king, then that state should be good. A state which is run by a philosopher king. So प्लेटो ने फिलोसोफर किंग का कॉन्सेप्ट दिया कि स्टेट किस तरह के किंग से रूल्ड होना चाहिए, एक फिलोसोफर किंग से, तब वो सुशासन स्टैब्लिश कर सकता है, उसको अच्छा बना सकता है. एरिस्टोटल, okay, another philosopher, that Aristotle, he said that a state which is based on individual morality, क्या बोलता है ये? He talks about the individual virtue. ठीक है, a state which is run on the individual virtue, मतलब the king should be virtuous. Okay, king should be virtuous. So उस तरह का state कैसा state हो सकता है? It should be a good governed state. Similarly, there was a concept of utilitarianism by Jeremy Bentham. Okay, utilitarianism by Jeremy Bentham. ये भी याद रखेंगे आप लोग. Who had propounded the theory of utilitarianism? Jeremy Bentham. So Jeremy Bentham say that the government or administration or the state which is based on the concept of utilitarianism, then it's a good state. Okay, you say that the state should be based on utilitarianism. And what is utilitarianism? Utilitarianism का मतलब होता है the resources of the country should be utilized for the benefit of maximum part of the people. मतलब maximum utilization of resources, maximum utilization of resources for maximum people. ठीक है, not all people, मतलब ये minority कभी कभी छूट जाता है. So that's why utilitarianism philosophy is not universally accepted. But there was a point of the time when Jeremy Bentham propounded एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन किस तरह से होना चाहिए. इट शुड वर्क, इट शुड बी बेस्ड ऑन द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ यूटिलिटारियनिज्म. ठीक है, मतलब रिसोर्सेस में जो पावरफुल हो, डोमिनेंट क्लास हो, वो उनके सर्विस के लिए, उनके वेलफेयर के लिए यूज. ठीक है, हर एक क्लास के लिए ये पॉसिबल नहीं था. सो एंड सो इफ यू टॉक अबाउट, देयर वाज अनदर फिलोसोफर नेम्ड नीची. ठीक है, it pronounce it as Nietzsche. He was a moral philosopher. He say that state which is run by master morality, rather than slave morality. ठीक है, rather than slave morality, then the state would be a good state. So he focus on the governance. Administration should work on master morality, not on slave morality. Okay, it should be like leading. So master morality पे जो based हो, वो state कैसा होगा? Good state. So ये concept, even the idea has a very long history. You can call it the idea very old है. Ancient Greeks में concept था. Even that Plato talks about that a state should be based on a philosopher king. Aristotle says state which is based on the individual virtue. Jeremy Bentham given the concept of utilitarianism. Nietzsche say state which is run by the master morality rather than slave morality. So all these provide a state to be good. ठीक है, ये अच्छा होने के लिए सारे principles हैं. Similarly, even Gandhiji, he talks about the concept of the Suraj. Gandhiji even talks about the concept of Suraj. So Gandhiji talks about the concept of Suraj. He says that the administration should promote what? It should be based on the principle of Sarvodaya. It should be based on the principle of Sarvodaya. Okay, so there are another philosopher, like there was a philosopher like Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant say that the administration should be based on the performance of the duty. What he say? He say that administration should be based on the performance of the duty. ठीक है, कि ऑब्जेक्टिव कैसा होना चाहिए, परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द ड्यूटी, फिलॉसफी नहीं. सो इट वाज दैट इमैनुअल कांट, ही also given the theory that is called deontology. Okay, he talks about the performance of duty. इनका फोकस एरिया क्या था, ड्यूटी परफॉर्मेंस. गांधी जी का फोकस एरिया क्या था, एक गुड स्टेट सुराज का कॉन्सेप्ट किस पे बेस्ड होना चाहिए, सर्वोदया के प्रिंसिपल पे. ठीक है. सिमिलरली इवन इन द कौटिल्यास अर्थशास्त्र, कौटिल्यास अर्थशास्त्र, what it say, Kautilya say that he actually talks about the traits of a king in a good governed state. What he say, ये कौटिल्य बोलते हैं कि किंग का जो गुडनेस है वो सब्जेक्ट पे डिपेंड करता है. ठीक है, द गुडनेस ऑफ किंग लाइज इन द गुडनेस ऑफ सब्जेक्ट. यू कैन राइट हियर दैट द गुडनेस ऑफ अ किंग लाइज इन द गुडनेस ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट. गुडनेस ऑफ हिज सब्जेक्ट्स, मतलब जो प्रजा की खुशी में ही राजा की खुशी है, ऐसा कॉन्सेप्ट दिया कौटिल्यास के अर्थशास्त्र में. सो ऑल दी थ्योरी, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट प्लेटो, एरिस्टोटल, जेरेमी बेंथम, इमैनुअल कांट, कौटिल्यास, एम.के. गांधी, what they actually trying to highlight? They simply trying to highlight that the system should work for a empowering environment, should work for an empowering environment which promotes the development of citizens, which promotes the development of citizens. It means the core of administration, it is your citizen. Okay, so this was the background of the good governance. So good governance as a idea, it was very old. It was even from the ancient time. ठीक है, but जो conceptualization है, it was a very recent development. Concept part is a very recent development. So concept part में basically focus किस पे करना है हमें, the vision of the World Bank and IMF. And this is the potential area from where the questions are generally framed and they are generally been asked. So इसको अच्छे से तैयार करना है. And it is the most acceptable and dominant view with respect to the good governance. What is the World Bank view and IMF view? So dear friends, you prepare it well. Now let's move to understand what the World Bank had said with respect to the good governance. So we are entering into the second part, that is called concept part. Okay, let's move. So let's try to understand conceptual development of the good governance. So the conceptual development, basically we are talking about the World Bank and IMF view with respect to the good governance. During the post-Cold War time, Cold War period, all of you know, Cold War period क्या था? That after the World War II, the entire globe is divided into the two camps. Okay? It was divided into the two camps, that is called Western camp and Eastern camp. The Western camp, मतलब Western world, they are led by the USA, and the Eastern camp, Eastern group, was led by USSR, erstwhile Russia. Clear? Western camp promote the policy of capitalism and Eastern camp promote the policy of socialism. So after the World War II, the rivalry and hegemonic competition was started, and entire world was divided into the two camps. The Western camp led by the USA, Eastern camp led by the USSR. One promotes the capitalism, the another promotes the socialism. So in this hegemonic race, ये Cold War क्यों बोलते हैं इसको? Because there was an agreement that they would avoid a full-fledged war. They would avoid a full-fledged war. That's why it is called Cold War. Background पे वार हो रहा है, पॉलिसी में वार हो रहा है, दैट इज इकोनॉमी में वार हो रहा है, ठीक है, बट फुल फ्लेज वार नहीं होगा, मतलब आर्मिस्टिक वार नहीं होंगे. Clear? Because already the world has witnessed the disasters made by the two वर्ल्ड वार्स, वर्ल्ड वार 1 और वर्ल्ड वार 2 के इम्पैक्ट्स भयावह जो उनके इम्पैक्ट थे वो ऑलरेडी वर्ल्ड विटनेस कर चुका था. सो दैट इज वाई इट वाज अ रेस फॉर हेजेमोनिक. Okay, so Western camp and Eastern camp, that is called Cold War period. And during the 1991 or 90s, that you know that USSR was disintegrated. So it is called post Cold War period sometime. So the World Bank and IMF view was germinated during this backdrop of post Cold War era. ठीक है, in the post Cold War era, the World Bank and IMF, the institutions were dominated by the Western leaders. So Western leaders, they promoted the concept of capitalism. So the two times that during the 1989 there was a report on the sub-Saharan country, that there was a report on sub-Saharan countries. Sub-Saharan countries. So in this report they found that there was systemic failure or economic unviability in the context of the sub-Saharan country. What was that? There was the financial as well as the economic failure. Financial plus economic failure. So they try to understand why this happened in the context of the sub-Saharan country, that there is a repeated the economic systemic failure, the financial systemic failure. Okay, they try to understand it. Before to understand and before to move ahead, हम लोग कुछ समझते हैं कि what were another development during 1980s and 90s. During the 1980s and 90s, that the worldwide efforts were taken to understand the difference between the government and governance. Government versus governance. ठीक है? They try to understand and make a difference, because concept part इसी को बोलते हैं. You should crystallize the things. Okay? You know many things, but crystallize it. So crystallization process चल रहा था. Okay? What is government? So what is this? That state undertakes activities. Lots of activities. For what? For the citizens. So there are number of activities which are backed by the formal goals. Okay? There are a lot of activity which are marked by the formalism. मतलब rules पे formalism है, formal goals हैं. So those activities comes under the government. There are number of activities which basically aims at the associative approach. Which aims for a common goal. Which aims for a shared goals. So those activities comes under the governance. So governance means a collective activity for a shared goals. What do you mean by governance? It means a collective activity for a shared goals. ये governance का मतलब होता था. During the 80s and 90s, they try to build up this difference, that there are certain activities which are aimed for formal goals, जो formal rules page institutional होंगे. So you can call it the government is institutional. It is institutional. But governance is institutional plus network. दोनों. It is institutional plus network. ठीक है? So it is the collective, associative, networking, collective, associative, networking. So all those aspects comes under the governance. ठीक है? So with these distinction, the IMF and the World Bank, they found that there are certain regions for this economic unviability in the context of sub-Saharan countries. And what were the reasons? They highlighted that the economic failure is not only due to the economic policy failure, rather it is also due to the political regime, the administrative failure, the inefficient management of the resources, etc. Okay, they said that economic failure is not only due to economic policies, rather due to politics as well as administrative failure. ठीक है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फेल्योर कि इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम का फेल्योर सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी के फेल्योर से नहीं, इसमें पॉलिटिक्स का भी इंपॉर्टेंस है, इसमें एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी इंपॉर्टेंस है. सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फेल्योर, पॉलिटिकल फेल्योर, सिमिलरली अदर एस्पेक्ट्स, उनके फेल्योर्स के चलते भी इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम फेल होता है. ठीक है ना. दे प्रोपाउंडेड कि इसको कैसे ठीक किया जाए. सो दे प्रोमोटेड and they found that it is the good governance which is the most promising solution to these prevailing circumstances. So what was that? The good governance was the most promising solution to the economic unviability तो उस समय गुड गवर्नेंस सबसे प्रॉमिसिंग सॉल्यूशन की तरफ आया. इट मीन्स द 1989 the first time that this good governance term was emphasized as a dominant concept. ये important point है, इसको याद रखेंगे. So it was in 1989 that first time good governance was promoted, or you can call it emphasized as a dominant theory. ठीक है, it is important date 1989. So they say that it's the good governance which is a promising solution to sort out and to revive this economic unviability in the context of sub-Saharan country. It was later promoted that a concept that is called aid conditionality. ठीक है, they promoted the idea of aid conditionality. So aid conditionality means the Western countries, the World Bank will not only support in terms of the economic policies, plus they would also support for administrative policy, plus the other reforms. So aid conditionality is a package that will help you to revive your economy, revive the economy. ठीक है. So it means the aid conditionality are externally dictated terms, and that will set an agenda for the agenda of the governance for those country. So what are these aid conditionality? What it sets agenda of governance. किस तरह से वहां का सिस्टम चलेगा, अब किसके हिसाब से डिसाइड होगा? थ्रू एड कंडीशनलिटी. So it sets agenda of governance, and this entire process, this aid conditionality is promoted in the name of good governance. थोड़ा सा अब थीम समझ में आया. That in 1989, that while studying the sub-Saharan countries, the World Bank found that there are a number of factors responsible for economic unviability, and they found that it is the good governance which is a most promising solution. They promoted this idea through a concept that is called aid conditionality, and ad conditionality sets the agenda of the governance for the country, and it is promoted through a value laden term that is called good governance. So ये एक वैल्यू लेडन टर्म था, ठीक है, कुछ अच्छा फील हो, वैल्यू लेडन टर्म था गुड गवर्नेंस. सो एड कंडीशनलिटी, व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव? ऑब्जेक्टिव इज to have a sound developmental management. What was that? Sound developmental management, SDM याद रखेंगे. एड कंडीशनलिटी का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था? टू अटेन और टू अचीव द साउंड डेवलपमेंटल मैनेजमेंट. साउंड डेवलपमेंटल मैनेजमेंट का कॉन्सेप्ट उसमें पूरा क्लियर नहीं था, फिर अभी हम लोग देखेंगे कि क्या इसका मीनिंग है. बट व्हाट वाज एम्फसाइज्ड that for sound developmental management, the three things are important, that is human plus economic plus institutional development. What was that? The human, economic plus institutional development through the efficient utilization of resources. What was that? Through efficient utilization of economic plus social resources. Economic plus social resources. Okay. So, what is the concept here? That in 1989, in the context of sub-Saharan country, the failure of economic inviability, the ad conditionality was promoted by the World Bank, which sets an agenda of the governance, and that is promoted through a value-laden term that is called good governance. Objective of this ad conditionality is to have a sound developmental management through the efficient utilization of the economic plus the social resources of the country. Okay, this is the concept developed during the 1989. Now, in 1992, that there was a report by World Bank, titled "The Governance and the Development." In this report, the governance and development, the World Bank try to redefine the concept. The report, the governance and the development, the World Bank try to redefine clearly the concept of good governance. And what is this clear concept of the good governance? The World Bank say good governance means the sound developmental management. Okay, the sound developmental management means which include the public sector management. What is this public sector management? It say that it means the public sector management. Second, it further say public sector management means the public sector expenditure management, public sector expenditure management. Okay, expenditure management. Third, it talks about the civil society reforms. Fourth, it talks about administrative reforms. Fifth, it talks about the efficient utilization of economic plus social resources, and ultimately all to have a predictable economic system. So in 1992, in this report, the World Bank further defined that what does mean by this good governance. Good governance means the efficient utilization of resources for the sound developmental management, SDM. And sound developmental management includes the public sector management. It further includes the public sector expenditure management. It means the civil society reform. It means the reforms in administration, efficient utilization of the resources to have a predictable economic system, to have a viable economic system. Okay? So it means that it broadens the aspect of the good governance. It also includes civil society reform. It means it makes the process of administration more inclusive. It makes the system more networking. It means it is the not duty of only the state actors, plus also non-state actors like civil societies, NGOs and other stakeholders would also be part in the governance of the country. So we can simplify that what is this good governance called. So now put it simple, that the good governance means a multi-stakeholder networking approach. कि मतलब एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में सिविल सोसाइटी भी होंगे, द NGOs का भी पार्टिसिपेशन होना चाहिए, नॉन स्टेट एक्टर्स वुड ऑल्सो भी पार्टिसिपेट. सो इट इंक्लूड्स अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स एज वेल. स्टेक होल्डर्स का मतलब who participate in the process. It should follow the networking approach. It should not follow an isolationist approach. We should follow the we approach, rather I approach. We should follow the associative approach, rather the dichotomy approach. So we can call it कि simple term में good governance क्या है? It means a multi-stakeholder networking approach which emphasizes on equality, employment, rule of law. ठीक है, जहाँ पर predictable चीजें हों. So it means the good governance also aim to provide an environment where every citizen can develop to its potential irrespective of any discrimination in terms of caste, color, creed, gender, etc. And the core of entire system is the citizen. सबका ultimate center क्या है, core क्या है? It is the citizen. So this is the concept of the World Bank with respect to good governance. So World Bank ने क्या बोला? That good governance is basically economical in concept, plus it is instrumental in character. What is the two terms you should remember? That good governance, according to World Bank, means instrumental as well as economical in character. Okay? So I hope this is a completely new chapter and new approach to study the good governance. Now, so let us conclude the today's class. So whenever you study the good governance, you should study under the three part, that is the idea. Then we have studied that the concept part, and third, that is what is the stand of the second ARC with respect to the good governance. Good governance, according to second ARC, it is the citizen-centric administration. This part we will take up in the next lecture. So as an idea, good governance means Susasan, or sometimes it is called Ramraj or Suraj. So ये जो concept है, from the time immemorial it was in there, from the ancient time it was there. There are the different views थे. Like the Plato say that a state which is run by a philosopher king, it means from the ancient Greeks what we have said, that state means good. State means good. But how state can do good? So there are the different viewpoint, और वही theme है किसका? Governance का. So Plato say that a state which is run by a philosopher king, then that is a good. Similarly, Aristotle say it talks about the virtuous king. It means administration or the king should be virtuous. Similarly, that Nietzsche say the administration which is based on master morality rather than slave morality, then that is a good state. Similarly, that Mahatma Gandhi, he talks about that state or system of government should be based on the principle of Sarvodaya. Even the Kautilya's Arthashastra, he discussed about the traits of a king of a good governed state. That is, say that happiness of the king lies with the happiness of the subject. So happiness of king lies in the happiness of his subject. Lie in the happiness of his subjects. Okay, similarly, that other thinkers, other philosophers like Jeremy Bentham. Okay, Jeremy Bentham, he talks about utilitarianism principle. State should be based on the principle of utilitarianism. So all these viewpoints were there with respect to a good state. The role of a good state, governance of the system for the happiness, for the welfare of the people. So the citizen is the center of administration. The one point they try to highlight. The kingdom, the resources and resource management should be such that it is for the service of the people. But it was an idea. Okay, and when to crystallize it during the 1980s and the 90s, it was a time there were the efforts taken by the financial institutions across the globe, and particularly it was the IMF as well as the World Bank, Bretton Woods twins. So the IMF and World Bank taken number of the studies, and first study in 1989 with respect to the sub-Saharan countries. They found that there is the financial unviability. The financial unviability. Okay, in this backdrop, the difference, that is the notion between the government and governance, ये भी develop हो चुका था. What was the difference? That government is something the institutional and the governance is institutional plus networking. इसलिए ND1 अभी करंट गवर्नमेंट में क्या बोला जाता है? मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस एंड मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट. ठीक है, मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस एंड मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट. थोड़ा सा मीनिंग समझ में आ रहा होगा. गवर्नेंस एंड इट मीन्स इट emphasizes on more and more networking approach. It emphasizes more and more associative approach. It emphasizes more and more, you can call it we approach. But here government, it focus on institutional approach. It focus on isolationist approach. It focus on I approach. Okay, so ये ज़्यादा integrative है. So maximum governance plus minimum government, ये that is, you can call it the NDA government का principle. ठीक है. So now you are getting कि government, it was institutional governance but networking. So 1989, in the context of sub-Saharan the financial inviability, and they found that it is the good governance which is a promising solution. Then they advocated through the idea of ad conditionality, and ad conditionality sets the agenda for governance, and that is in terms of value-laden term, that is called good governance. Okay, and then in the 1992, in the report The Governance and the Development, the World Bank redefined it clearly. It said that the sound developmental management means the public sector management, it means the civil society reforms, it means the administrative reforms, so etc. All these reforms were to have a predictable economic system. Okay, it will to have a viable economic system. Okay, so basically to an instrumental approach was followed plus economical approach was followed, so that there would be viable system and it will be supported by a multi-stakeholder networking approach. Okay, multi-stakeholder networking approach, and this was the view of the World Bank. So till this point, I hope all of you got it. Now the rest of the part, that even this World Bank view is the most accepted view, there are certain criticism we will take up in the next class. Plus, what is the stand of the ARC, and it means what is the Second Administrative Reform Commission say with respect to citizen-centric administration. How the good governance should be there. There are 8 attributes which it highlighted that it will make the good governance a citizen-centric administration. Okay, so all those aspects, rest of the aspect will take up in next class. Before that, please revise it. It's a conceptual chapter, so it will take time to imbibe you. Now, if you have still any doubt, because it is a new chapter, I am appealing repeatedly, but I am trying to make it simple so that it will be helpful to your exam point of view. So if still you have the doubt, then you can leave the comment. Otherwise, you keep learning without the video lecture. Also, you go through the Prachand Abhyas session. It will substantiate your the preparation. Okay. Thank you. Good luck. Have a nice day.